Johari Noelle would show me off her debut EP, Things You Can't Say Out Loud. You gotta whisper when you say that. In Chicago, that voice you hear in the background laughing. Oh yeah, that's Johari Noelle. Welcome to Vocalo Radio.
What's up, what's up? Hey everybody.
So, off air, right? First and foremost, how are you doing after this 30-hour drive?
I'm good. Yeah, 30 hours. It was insane. I definitely would not recommend. I definitely would recommend you to fly, or if you drive, take your time. But yeah, no, that drive was crazy. Like, I'm exhausted, but I'm so happy to be here.
You talking about take your time. That's exactly what y'all did. Y'all
We didn't take any time.
Congrats to, making it back here in the Chi. And I'll let people know where you landed, what came from in a little bit. But let's talk about Things You Can't Say Out Loud.
For sure.
That project released when? Like 3 years ago?
Yes, last time we talked. Three 2019.
So, with Things You Can't Say Out Loud releasing 3 years ago, what's some of the things you've noticed that changed for you musically?
So much, honestly. I think that the subjects, the things that I talk about are becoming broader, more vulnerable, and just the vibes. Like, I'm experimenting a lot more sonically with just different sounds, up-tempo, mid-tempo, like just trying new things. Like,
with that being your debut album, were you nervous at all of like releasing it and really jumping into this musical journey of yours?
At the time, no, not at all. I was like, I'm ready. Like, let's go. Like, I was super excited to get that out. That's still one of my favorite EPs.
Now, Things You Can't Say Out Loud. What's something you can't say out loud? Or something you would want people, just, I'm gonna say subject matter. You don't even got to say it. But what's something of a subject that you feel people keep on a hush or wouldn't say too, loudly or speak too loudly about?
I mean, primarily relationships. Like, that's a given. Like, everyone keeps that kind of like hush hush. So I try to dibble and dabble and share a little bit at a time. But I would say relationships.
Relationships is a very good subject matter right there. Is that how the EP came about? Was it from like relationships or just things you were dealing with at that time?
I think it was from both relationships and just my personal life and growth and development as a young girl, and really navigating life, coming into adulthood and what those things felt like, feeling regrets, feeling, vulnerable, feeling love and happiness and feeling insecure. Like Crazy Lonely is one of those songs. I know you mentioned that's one of your favorites. But that song's about really being insecure and just me kind of laying that on the table with the person and putting that in a song. So it's about kind of addressing all those things that sometimes our ego doesn't allow us to talk about.
And, you released it in 2019, which was some time ago. 2022 is here. And I see you're pushing out merch for Things You Can't Say Out Loud. I want to ask you, what made you want to push out merch now that, you're starting to put out new music?
Yes, great question. So as I'm putting out new music, I just wanted to create more awareness around just like me and my vibe and my aesthetic. But I also didn't want to let Things You Can't Say Out Loud like just fall to the back. Like, that was such a great project. And I wanted to give like fans and listeners who love that project something to have with it, just because music never dies. And I think sometimes we let time dictate how valuable something is. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to say, this is still an amazing project. I still perform these songs. I still love this music. People still love this music. Why not give something to people that enjoy that music?
Why do you think artists fall into that type of mental space where they feel like once they put something out, okay, it's done?
I have no idea, honestly. I have no idea. I think a major part of it is social media, like with TikTok and just like the attention span of listeners. And I think we start to believe that our time span is shortened, like on our art, which is not true at all. Somebody can catch a song you put out 4 years ago and be like, wow, and like it could resurface. Like, that happens all the time in music. That actually happened with my song Release from Things You Can't Say Out Loud this year. It got picked up and it just started picking up steam again. And I was like, wow, this was like in the middle. It wasn't a single. It wasn't anything. It just picked up recently. And a lot of fans have been coming to me like, that's their song. They dance to it. They make reels and TikToks to it. And it just shows me to never give up on the music.
I love to hear it. Do you remember what platform it picked up on?
Spotify and YouTube. Actually, it's a DJ. I'm going to butcher his name, but I'm just going to call him Bobby.
That's his
Bobby.
first
Bobby. He's an incredible DJ on YouTube, but he does like these mixes with like R&B primarily. And he added my song to one of his playlists, and he also carries a playlist on Spotify. So all of those subscribers on YouTube and his followers on Spotify like rush to that song. So
shout out DJ Bobby.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby.
That's what I like to hear. Well, look, we finna, keep things rolling because we got regrets loaded from things you can't say out loud. Y'all keep it locked. Johari Noelle is in the building. It's Vocalo Radio. I don't know if you're located in Malibu, but I know off air we were talking about this 30-hour drive from LA.
Yeah.
So, how has the move been for you to LA from Chicago?
Surprisingly, it was great. I already have hella friends from Chicago that had already moved to LA, so everybody was super welcoming, and it was also a great way for me to meet other people in LA that I probably would not have met on my own. But there's also been great people that I've met on my own. So it's been a great place to just network and get to know people and also get close to friends that you were close to back home in Chicago too. So.
Was that a planned move at all, or you just jumped out on a leap of faith?
Primarily, there was an opportunity there with one of my family members, and then I joined with faith to just go for it and just try a new city out and see if I can branch out and perform there and do shows and create and collaborate with artists and producers out there.
Has it been working for you? Because from what I see,
it's been pretty dope. It's been cool. I've got a few like writing placements, working with other artists, and that's been fun. Like just tapping into like my pen and like being able to collaborate in that way. It's also been great working on my own music and getting in with other producers and experimenting more sonically. Has been really fun.
So do you feel like at all that LA has like helped develop you musically?
100% yes. And the reason that I say that is because there are so many infrastructures there to do that. Like for me, one of my biggest things that I wanted to improve on was just performance, like doing shows. Like when I lived in Chicago, I always performed the same way. And while I enjoyed that, I just wanted to up it up a notch and build my technique up as a performer and as an artist just to put on more dynamic shows. So I got in with performance coaches and movement coaches, and then I started personal training just to get my stamina where I wanted it to be, just doing all of the things like to try to develop more. And I think that there are way more resources out there for that, which is amazing. But it's not better than Chicago, don't get me wrong. But when you're looking for a technique, you know what I mean? I think it's a great place to visit and work there.
Let them know. Hey, speaking of Chicago, what's some things you miss?
The food, for one.
That's like the number one.
The food.
What's the first thing as soon as y'all got here? Where did you go? What restaurant you?
I haven't had a chance yet, but I'll tell you one thing. After the show, I definitely want to get into some unhealthy stuff like some pizza, some chicken, some Italian beefs. I kind of want to get a to-go plate of everything. Like, I want to make a quick stop at like Portillo's, like Harold's. Even JJ's is really good.
Look, I see you get hungry talking about it.
I'm so hungry.
That'd be like the number one thing a lot of people say when they move out.
Oh man, yes, the
food.
I also miss the weather, like the way that the weather changes. Like it's fall here. It's so pretty and cool, and the leaves are beautiful. Like you don't really get that out there. Like everything's kind of the same the entire year. It gets a little chilly, but you don't experience seasons. So I kind of miss that too.
Well, that's beautiful out in Cali, I've heard. I haven't been there yet.
Really?
Yet. I plan to make my way there soon because I also have a lot of friends that stay out there. So eventually I'm going to make my way out there.
You got to visit. Just visit.
What's the first thing I should do when I get to Cali? Put me on. Come on, Johari. Put me on. Put us on. Okay,
well, you know what? You call me when you get there and we'll just take you to a few spots.
Oh, perfect. Y'all paying?
What time?
Look,
let's talk about it after the show.
Gas was almost $10 out there.
No, it really, yeah. Yeah.
Look, so let's actually transition into what you're here for. You know, you're back in Chicago, and you have a show at Promontory. This is the first time you've performed here. It's been 3 years, so it'll be the first time in 3 years, and that was the last time I seen you. It was like 3 years ago. So how exciting for that? How exciting is that for you?
Man, it's really exciting. I mean, one, the pandemic, I feel like slowed so much down. Like I had so much lined up. And so being able to jump back in and really pick up where I left off here is super fun and exciting to do. And just being able to tap in with other artists out here that I love and admire and, you know, support. We've got Matt Muse, we've got Lee Dominique, Pierce English, who's a great R&B singer. And then from LA, I've got my friend Emery Kelly, who was on a Netflix series, but he also makes R&B and pop flair. So it's going to be fun to like bring all of that to one show and like introduce both worlds. So like my LA world and then my Chicago world intertwined. It's going to be a great time.
It sound like, excuse me, it sound like you hand selected these performers.
Well, so basically what I did is I posted on social media, like I'm planning a show in Chicago. Who should I put on the lineup? And the first group of people that reached out, I just was like, all right, let's figure it out. And I really wanted to pick people that, you know, I had close relationships with and people that I was like fans of, and just also people that were like super responsive, which was great. I heard from them super fast. I wish I could add more people, honestly. I want to do more of these shows where I have more artists like locally and just have like an annual like residency, if you will. Like that would be really dope.
Hey, make it happen. Don't just
like that would be super cool.
Make it happen.
We'll see. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna work on it.
Make it happen.
This was really hard, so I'm excited to be able to put this together. And yeah, I definitely hope to do that.
Again, where can people expect? When does the event go down?
So the show is this Friday night at 7 p.m. The show starts, so please be on time. Pierce will open up the show, and I will close out the show. And we'll also have merch available to purchase on hand. The show is sponsored by Shure. Shout out to Shure. I appreciate them. And yes, we're also doing an after party. So if you get a ticket to the show, you'll get details on the after party.
Hey, now look, I'm finna, look, I ain't drink, but I might have to take a shot to that because it's a celebration. You back in the city and you're hitting the stage. It's been 3 years, and I finally get to see you in your glow up and see what this performance coach been up to. I'm ready to see how things been panning out.
Just adding more life to some of the songs. Like one of them that's my favorite is Crazy Lonely. So that one has stuff, and Show Me's got moves, and all my other new songs like Get Free. And I'll also be performing songs that I released last year, like Gray, Games Forever, Get Free, my new single Your Way, which I'm super excited to do. That'll be my first time performing that one too. So
and you know, this is the first station to break it as well, because I got Your Way loaded up to end off our time. But before I even get into it, you got to let everybody know how they can get merged, just in case they can't make it out to the event. Or if they want to make it to the event, let people know where they can go purchase tickets and how they can purchase merch as well as follow you.
Yes. Okay. So in regards to merch, you can order merch online on my website, JohariNoelle.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Johari Noelle, JohariNoelle. And that's also where you can get the tickets to the show. The tickets are located on Eventbrite. You can also get them on Promontory's website, my website. So yeah, my Instagram bio, Promontory's website, as well as Eventbrite. And it's an intimate night with Johari Noelle live at the Promontory, sponsored by Shure.
I'm going to definitely make sure I pop out and get some footage. I'm finna enjoy myself Friday, y'all. Y'all be there. I'm going to be there. And like I said, I got your single loaded up. Your Way. Break
Let's
down.
Go.
Break it down first before we make our exit. Who produced the record? And is there a new project in the works? What's going on with the new single?
So the new single was produced by an East Coast producer. His name's Reezy. Shout out to him. I met him via Instagram and with another team of producers and writers, and we got together and we made Your Way. The song is really about reciprocity, but in the more villain sense of just embracing being the bad guy. I think that sometimes in relationships and in love, like we let ourselves fall victim to being a victim, you know what I mean? And in this song, I'm kind of taking my power back and saying, I'm going to get mine, you know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those songs for anybody that, you know, has been in a relationship or a situationship where you felt like somebody was trying to do you dirty. This song is basically saying, hey, I'm going to do my dirt too. So don't get mad when I do my dirt. So I'm encouraging you to be a villain. But it's also an up-tempo vibe. It's like you can dance to it, you can get ready to it, you can work out to it, you can really do anything to it.
Why waste my time blowing my line, play with my mind if it's not for you? And why